Let's talk about some accessories you need for paddleboard yoga. So first up, an ankle leash. Now this is a normal paddleboard accessory, but for yoga, I like to use it to keep my paddle from floating away, but having it completely off the board and out of the way. So if you open up the Velcro, wrap it around the shaft of your paddle nice and tight, you can toss your paddle in while you're doing yoga, and it's perfect. The next accessory I would say is an anchor. Well, you need an anchor first probably, but let's talk about that one next. I use a grapnel anchor, so it has these things, the prongs that fall out and the little mushroom cap that goes down, so you can drop it in and it will catch on something. Now, you can drop it with the prongs in so that it doesn't catch on anything, and if it's heavy enough, that is good. I have used 3.5 and 5 pound anchors. 5 pound are great, especially if there's a little bit of current or even a little bit of wind when you head out, but otherwise 3.5 is great and easy for lakes and other calm water areas. I just use a docking line, but most anchors, and I'll link one down below, already come with the system. So that's good to go. Attach it to the D-ring or the leash plug at the back of the board, and you can toss it in when you get to where you're going. Up next, you need your life jacket, of course. Now, by law, a lot of people, you can put it on the board, but I always recommend wearing them. So what I use is an inflatable belt pack, and you can just twist it around while you're doing yoga, so you can have it at the front if you're laying down doing poses, and you can have it at the back if you are forward and doing poses, laying on your belly or anything like that. So an inflatable belt pack allows you to have the life jacket on you, but it's less bulky and out of the way for a lot of poses. Now, you do have to be at least 16 years old and a good swimmer to wear one, otherwise get a full vest. The next accessory, you have to have a whistle. Just by law, the U.S. Coast Guard considers paddleboards vessels, so we do have to have a life jacket and a whistle on board, so don't forget your whistle. Next up, you have a dry bag. I highly recommend getting one of these. They are very helpful when you're out on the water, so you can keep your phone, your keys, and anything else you need to in the dry bag. You just wrap them up at least 3 times. Make sure there's some air in there, that way they're also floating, and then you clip them. And I'll link one of my favorites down below. Next, bug spray, especially if you're doing yoga at dusk or dawn, which is when I like to do it the most, so the sun is not quite as harsh. I use Murphy's Naturals. It's a great natural option, but any bug spray will work, whatever your favorite is. And of course, if you're out, when the sun's out, which is basically anytime it's light outside, you should wear some sunscreen. So we have Sunbum sunscreen, that's my favorite, but whatever works for you. I also recommend a hat. It's nice when you're in Savasana, laying on your board, you can put it over your eyes so that you can enjoy even if the sun is nice and bright and high in the sky. And then last but not least, your water bottle. Stay hydrated. Make sure you take water with you and drink it. Sometimes we don't realize how thirsty we are, so make sure you're drinking your water.